These latest headlines from ABC15 are sponsored by Lerner and Rowe Injury Attorneys. One call, that's all.
I'm Jordan Bonke with your top stories from the ABC15 Arizona newsroom. Turning now to our big story, the government shutdown is now in day 33, just 48 hours shy of breaking that 34-day record for the longest ever government shutdown. Meanwhile, millions of Americans have lost SNAP benefits for the first time in the program's 85 years. And that includes nearly 1 million Arizonans. The community has been stepping up to help those in need. King Pigeon Thrift and Vintage, they saw a nonstop flow of people on Saturday for their food pantry. E.P. Bradley and his wife, they're behind the effort at King Pigeon to get food to those in need, no questions asked.
It can be such a negative feeling world right now, but there's been no negative feelings in here. This is just people taking care of each other. This is just the community. Like, we're just a conduit here.
Helping hands, they're all over the valley. St. Vincent de Paul is holding an emergency food drive, and then food distribution is over at Solano Elementary, a local food drive there for local families as well. So what happens next? Well, federal judges stepped in ordering the Trump administration to find emergency money to keep the program alive. President Donald Trump responding via social media Friday, saying that he's instructing administrative lawyers to ask the court how SNAP could be legally funded as soon as possible. The president added that even with immediate guidance, there would be a delay in states getting SNAP money out of the recipients. And ABC 15 is also working to get new details from police as they investigate a shooting in Phoenix. It's happening shortly before 9 last night near 44th Street in McDowell. Police tell us that a man was rushed to the hospital with life-threatening injuries. We know one person is in custody. It's unclear right now what led up to the shooting. You can count on us to follow up once we get an update from police. Mesa police also offering an update on an officer who was shot during a standoff on Wednesday. So we're told the officer who was shot is recovering. He's well and he's in good spirits. The suspect identified as 34-year-old Cameron Oberlin. He reportedly shot and killed himself during the incident. Gilbert police are now in charge of the investigation. We've said it time and time again in our running dry coverage as the state's water, the future of the state's water remains uncertain. Every single drop counts. It sounds like a cliche, but we'll say it because a local business, they're taking part in taking that to heart by leading the way in sustainable brewing practices. That's why we're taking a moment to highlight a new partnership between Santan Brewing and local farmers in Arizona. This is from farm to table and back to farm again. So the core of Santan's sustainability mission is to use new filtration tech to cut water use by 40% and squeeze everything they can out of each and every grain. And when they're done, that spent grain then goes to farmers to feed their cattle and help keep their costs down.
We can get our grain out to our farmers in one trip, not move as much, and the grain doesn't weigh as much. Now we're using less fuel, less carbon footprint. So it's kind of this perfect marriage of economic factors and just wanting to do right by the Phoenix area, Arizona, and the planet as a whole, right?
Right now, Santan Brewing Company is sending 2 million pounds of spent grain out to Arizona farmers every year. And to finish that farm to table and back loop, Santan says that the grain adds a little something to the taste of their burgers as well. Nice. Those October rains were great for Arizona's mosquitoes, and of course that means more bug bites for us. So some good news though. ASU researchers are hoping that their findings will help swat down future outbreaks. Over at the Polytechnic campus, students are diving into mosquito habits, collecting larvae and logging temperature data across the valley. The goal to learn the sweet spot of where mosquitoes thrive and what heat levels push them past their limit. Understanding those conditions can help us target those hot spots, as well as inspiring the next generation of scientists to make discoveries of their own. Happy Sunday. Jordan Bonke here with your most accurate forecast. I wish I wasn't reporting this one, but we are in the 90s today, a little bit above normal right now. However, it starts really nice in the day in the 50s, going up into the 60s, 61 degrees in Cave Creek, 52 in Anthem, 54 in Glendale, and over in the cul-de-sac near 57. Hello and good morning to everybody down in the Ahwatukee area, 54 in Chandler as well. 90 degrees for us here in the valley, whereas on the west part of the state, similar story out there, 92 down in Yuma, but up at 6,500 feet in elevation in Flagstaff near Route 66, a nice 70 degrees over there. Overnight, 2 freezing spots to talk about. That's the Grand Canyon at 28, Window Rock at 31, and parts of Flagstaff perhaps at 33 degrees as well. It only takes 45 minutes to burn outside. You also got some air qualities at moderate and ragweed to consider yourself. Plenty of stuff around the valley today. Avondale NASCAR Championship, Suns and Spurs, and then also some events out in the East Valley. Here is your 7-day. It's looking nice and even in the 60s for Flagstaff. For the latest headlines, weather, and traffic, you can head to abc15.com or download the always free ABC15 mobile app. Thanks for watching.
These latest headlines from ABC15 are sponsored by Lerner and Rowe Injury Attorneys. One call, that's all.